Let's go! Damn, I just spit everywhere. September 18th, the season starts tomorrow. Boning archery season down here in Louisiana. It's the earliest season we have in Louisiana is mid-September, but it's only in 2 areas of the state. If that's still the rule, I'm not sure. But the area I'm going to is definitely September. Thanks. One of the bigger pieces of public land we have in the state. And me and my buddy Sam, he's riding in front of me right now. We've been hunting this particular place for about 6 years, and we've done pretty good. He shot a 130-inch 8-point over there. I shot a couple does, and I shot a 5-point one morning. We've done all right for a couple of guys that just go every once in a while. We don't really hit it too hard. We might go maybe 2 or 3 times to this place a year, but we kind of locked in on how the deer move up there, and we've gone to the same spots pretty much over the years. That we've branched off and killed deer at other spots, but we have a few spots that we like to hunt in particular. Not necessarily just spots, but the area is pretty good where we have those where we like to hunt. So we kind of, I guess, work around one particular area. And this weekend, man, I'm gonna be taking the camera with me in the woods when I go scout and everything else, and I'm gonna try to show what I'm looking for and why I'm picking a place to hunt and things like that. And I had a guy commented on one of my videos asking if I could make a how to hunt Louisiana public land deer video. Now, I'm not an expert, and I certainly do not. I'm not as successful as some people. Some people are just really good at it, but I consider myself to be all right. You know, I'm not getting skunked all the time, but I'm not going out and seeing or killing deer every hunt either. But so I'm just kind of go through that while I'm walking through the woods, show what I'm looking for, particularly in oak bottoms and pine forests. And that's it, man. Looking to have a good time. We'll be here till Sunday. Sam just got the brand new Matthews VXR. I got my old monster in the back. She's sleeping right now. She's about to wake up in the morning. Might shoot a little bit this evening too, but we have a cool front this weekend. This is the first real cool front of the year. The low tomorrow is 64 and the high is only 82. And I'm ready for it. And I do drive with my hands. I forgot I wasn't using my hands for a second. Wow. But that's it, man. I will see y'all in the woods here shortly. We got about 20 or 30 more minutes until we actually get where we're going. Alright, so I'm creeping into my spot. Now it's looking different, obviously. Last time I came in here, these pines were about this tall. And it was thick like that. Now, as you can see, it's not nearly as thick, so that's a relief. But the only thing I'm noticing, the other thing I'm noticing is pig sign, which isn't exactly good for deer. I've never seen pig sign here before. I don't know what's up with that. But I crossed some rooting up by the highway. And I smelled some coming when the wind was blowing out of that bottom. I smelled some pigs. But I'll go down here and check out the spot real quick. See if it still looks, you know, see if it still got the sign. I don't know if anybody keeps up with my Instagram that's watching this, but I've been working Lake Charles since the storm. Sleeping at my buddy's house, and I forgot my hunting boots at my house. And the other day I went to Walmart to buy some, and all they had was 400-gram insulated hunting boots. Luckily, I found these bad boys. $16. Let's get it. This is not looking good as far as access goes. It is thick in here. The pines got thicker. And I tried walking through this oak bottom, which the oak bottoms are generally thinner, but not this one. Another thing, the wind keeps switching on me, doing all kind of crazy stuff. But I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna look for a different access point on my way out. I don't have a whole lot of time this evening to scout before opening morning, so I'm just gonna roll with this one. That there is a white oak. And I'm sure the hurricane probably knocked some of these down. Let's see if I can find, I just saw one. Deer have been eating these. Cracked in half. Cracked in half. Cracked. Deer crack them, and squirrels just nibble the hull away, but deer will actually crack them in half, eat the inside like that. There's a pretty good bit of tracks here. I'm just not feeling confident because it's so thick right here. This probably looks far on the GoPro, but that creek right there is probably 8 yards. I'm gonna keep walking north. This is up where I used to hunt anyway. And keep looking. This is it. This is the very tree I've shot most of the deer from out here. You can actually see where I've scarred up the tree over the years, climbing up it. It's a lot thicker than it used to be. I could climb probably where that branch ends. Right there, I don't know if you can see it. If I can get about right there, I'll be able to shoot down through there and through this big gap right here pretty good. Over my left shoulder, I'll have a little window, but not much. I made a last minute broadhead decision, unfortunately, and I went with Swackers. Not that I don't have confidence in them, but in stuff like this where it's real thick, I don't have much confidence in them. I'm afraid I'll hit a twig and it'll open up on me. Maybe not. Right now I'm just checking all my shot opportunities. I came out about 20-30 yards. I'm gonna walk like this. Now you might be thinking it's counterintuitive to be walking around your hunting spot, but I got one day to try to figure it out. And I'm kind of hoping a deer will just come walking through here tomorrow morning after the dew's been out down here on the ground. Hopefully the scent will be washed out of here. You know, I don't know, but I don't want to just get into a spot and settle. This is pretty good right here. It's a pretty good trail. Crossing the creek. That's good. That's headed in the direction I'm going. I'm gonna try to stay off of it and parallel the edge of this bottom. Kind of see what's going on further down there. It looks like it opens up down there. Okay, so let me go this way. Alright, so I've found something that I think looks really good to me. Not far from where this bottom meets here, it kind of gets muddy. These two bottoms meet right here, and it kind of gets muddy. And there's a perfect tree right there with a tree growing right next to it. That's a tree I would totally hunt. Whenever I can find one that's got a smaller sapling growing right next to it that I can use for cover, if it's in an area that I think is pretty good, I'll hunt up there. Something I just found. It's got me pretty pumped up. There's tracks all over the place right here. That's just a whole deer trail. Goes through there. Cuts through there. There's more tracks a little closer to this tree. I get right here. There's acorn holes on the ground. And there's a lot of tracks right here too. It's looking pretty good. All right. Finally ready to rock. I'm at the first spot I scouted yesterday. About to see what this sign holds. There was a lot of good sign in here. Nothing groundbreaking and crazy, but it's gonna be a good spot to sit for the first morning. I feel pretty good about it. I'm rolling with the old school camo today, so that's it, man. I'm trying to hurry up right now. I know this is a poor interview, but I'm gonna pick it up in the woods in a second. Alright, so I finally made it up in the tree. Let's see what time it is. Alright, it's 6 o'clock. Got about 30 minutes until shooting time. I'm about maybe 6 or 7 feet up off the ground. I got about between 12 and 15. I couldn't see over the canopy, so I had to come back down. My furthest shot right here is maybe 20, 25 yards. So, I mean, a sticky situation. I have to be real still, but I think I can pull it off. I've done it before. This same spot, 100 yards north of here. A couple years ago, I shot a spike with a recurve at like 8 feet, and I was only about 6, 7 feet off the ground. So the right deer comes through, be able to make a move, but we'll see. It's 7 o'clock now. Before the sun came up, I had a deer maybe 30, 40 yards from me, and the thickest stuff around me. Whatever it was just traveling. My wind was blowing right in that direction. It never blew, but it had to have smelled me. Sometimes young bucks, younger deer, whenever they smell you or catch a whiff of your ground scent, they're a little more, they're like almost more curious than they are scared. So alright, we finally made it up in the stand. I left the campground at like 2 o'clock. It's 3:25 now. Left the campground at 2:05, so 1 hour, it's not bad. I scouted this spot earlier. I don't know if y'all can hear me over the wind. I scouted this spot when I got done hunting this morning. And basically what it is, behind me, I'm basically in a bowl. So behind me is a big ridge that slants down, and that's all short pines. This is an oak bottom that shoots off to the north, and there is another oak ridge just like the one behind me. I mean a pine ridge just like the one behind me. Just a big hillside. There's a crossing right there,
There's another crossing over there, and there wasn't a tree that I could get in over here, but I found 3 fresh rubs where a buck had just rubbed his velvet off, which had to be like today or yesterday because it's super green, and you could just smell where he peed. Like, had to be today or last night. The stench was strong. I could smell him from like, I could smell that pee from like 10 feet away before I even got to the rub. But this is it. I've got a 20-yard opportunity here. There's a brush in my way right here, but I could sneak one in there. I've got 3 or 4 little windows here for about 20-yard opportunity, and a good window here for 20 yards. If I stand up, I could slip an arrow through at about 35 that way. But got a squirrel moving already. But that's the plan. I think this is an overlooked spot. I'm only like, I don't know, man, 100 yards off the road, but not as many tracks as I want to see. But all the stuff that I'm looking for is here. The fresh tracks are not here, but it's exactly what I've been looking for. I think it's just a matter of, like, there's sporadic tracks, basically. The tracks are like, you'll go over here on this side and there'll be some tracks, and then I'll come on this side of the creek and there'll be tracks, and there's a few spots where they cross right here. I know for a fact that there's a buck in here at the least, and he ain't far. I promise you he ain't far. He might be on this hillside. Do you like to bed on these hillsides? So just hang tight. See what comes of this evening.